Hey, you know, I came to you today to discuss a couple of things. I know it's been a while since I stopped by. I enjoy making inspirational shorts on my channel. I do that from time to time. I may do it a little bit more often since I've been more busy than usual during this spring season. Also, hopefully, you're able to gain some insights, something helpful from what I'm going to share with you today. And I'll try to do it as swiftly as I can, but concise and clearly. Now, let's start off with this. I am a personal stylist. I give style advice and image consulting. Oftentimes, my clients are seniors. And this one particular senior, I visit from time to time, and she can be down on herself occasionally. I understand, I have compassion, empathy for her because of her situation. She's in, she uses a wheelchair, she also uses a walker, but very fashionable and cares greatly about her appearance, which is important. And that's not what necessarily this is about, but this video is about me sharing several ways with you how you can uplift someone who may seem like they're down, particularly in this situation, but it can be coworker, friend, family member, um, even a stranger you meet right in a park, on a bench, on the subway, other places you may attend, at lunch, wherever. So here we go. I'm going to share several ways I was able to uplift her. Now, to be honest, I have had a challenge with uplifting her in certain areas, certain ways, because, you know, sometimes it goes back and forth. Sometimes she's uplifted, sometimes she's not. It's just the way it is. Okay, let me fix this. I hope the lighting's good because it's a sunny day, but a little bit overcast too. So here are several ways this may be able to help you. Number one, I reminded her of how blessed she is. Now, I feel like this video is important because I have had challenges doing this in the past with this particular lady, and lately it has been resonating with her. She has been receiving, I guess, my opinion on the matter, my perspective, I should say, how I see things, my worldview. So here are several things I said to her during our discussion. One of the things I said to her, I reminded her that she is almost 90 years old, right? So she is 89, she'll be 90 in August. I reminded her that that is favor, that she's able to have life within her human body that long, right? Breathing, able to see. Sometimes I think her eyesight is even better than mine because I wear glasses most of the time, but she only wears them sometimes. Okay, she's blessed to nearly see age 90. It's coming up real fast. And also, I remind her that she grew up with two parents in a two-parent household, a mother and father. They seem to have gotten along fairly well. It's like she didn't necessarily experience abuse. Her father was a caring father. Her father was also a wealthy person. So she had the privilege to enjoy luxuries a certain part of her life. Now, they weren't rich, I don't think, her entire life, or her parents weren't always rich, but they came into wealth eventually through some business decision that he made. So she had two parents. She inherited their wealth, and she's approaching age 89, and she had been married 2 times. I reminded her, there are some people who have never been married, who desire marriage, who wanted marriage, who've always wanted marriage. They may be, themselves approaching 90 or in their 90s or 80s or 70s and never experienced marriage but always wanted to, but haven't been blessed or fortunate or favored to, right? Of course, there are people who don't desire it, but I reminded her that she achieved something two times that some people have never ever achieved one time in their life. Some people have never even experienced a good, healthy relationship, much less getting married and finding love two times, right? In a lifetime. Yes, some people find love, I guess, three, four times, but in many cases it's not love. But I know for sure that she felt like her last marriage was definitely a connection, love, chemistry, the one, because she was so happy in the second marriage. In her first marriage, she had four healthy boys. That reminded her of that. So she had four healthy boys, bouncing baby boys. They all grew up. They're all approaching senior ages, like in their 60s or so now, late 50s. So, well, actually, one of them passed away when he was getting close to age 50, about 47 or 8. And, I reminded her that, I often remind her that, his decisions weren't her fault. She sometimes pondered on what she could have done differently, why one of her sons passed away before age 50. But he had a substance issue, and he passed away due to the side effects or the results of that. But, as far as bringing them into the world, having live births, healthy births, and growing her children up, she did that successfully. And her children have grandchildren, right, who are healthy. She has 7 grandchildren who her children, her 3 sons that are still alive, they're all married as well. They appear to be happy in their marriages. They together have 7 children. So she has 7 grandchildren. She doesn't have great grandchildren yet. And I remind her how her 3 sons that are still living visit her regularly, like on a weekly basis, they visit her. Whether it's the middle of the week, a weekend, and how that's not that common. There are some seniors who are alone in a town or in a home or in a facility where no one visits them regularly, maybe twice a year, once every few months. Some never, don't have family, live far away from them, or family has died or forgotten about them. It's a huge, huge gift that she has with her sons that she raised, who love her and she loves them, right? These 7 grandkids care about her as well. They send her Christmas gifts, Easter gifts, other holiday gifts, right? They visit her on Thanksgiving. They take her out for Thanksgiving or bring her Thanksgiving dinner to her house. Her sons do the same thing. They wish each other happy birthday all the time. She calls them, wishes them greetings. They call her regularly, bring bouquets of flowers, cards regularly. She sends her grandchildren gifts, whether it's, gift cards or actual gifts. And she also has one brother who she grew up with. His name is Bill. Bill calls her several times a week. Sometimes he calls her every day in the week, according to her. Sometimes he calls her, 3 times perhaps in a week. But they stay in contact. They love each other. They have a great relationship, her and her brother. I think he's about 85 years old, and he's also married. She cares about herself. She does lots of self-care. She keeps her skin moisturized. She wears, wrinkle cream, night cream. She uses special types of like makeup and makeup remover, and she makes sure she has her mascara, eyeliner, her eyebrows, her lipsticks. She is organized. She is ordered. She never misses her weekly appointment or bi-weekly appointment to her hairdresser. She gets her nails done on schedule. She likes to buy her own clothing. She likes to shop. She prefers shopping online because of her disability. So she takes good care of herself. She visits all her doctors. She has, routine checkups, etc. She has a broker, financial advisor, all kinds of different people in her life that help or she has therapists. Okay, she has physical, mental health therapist. She just has all these things in order in her life, and she cares for herself. Something else I wanted to share about her. Um, I think it has to do with the care part. Okay, so talking about how she, she takes care of herself. She is very independent. So this lady does use an electric wheelchair, which is quite pricey. If any of you know someone with an electric wheelchair, and this is part of why she gets down on herself, because she feels like, well, I'm an electric wheelchair. Most of my neighbors aren't in electric wheelchair. All my friends, walk around independently. They don't have to use electric wheelchair. But this lady actually can walk, but she uses a walker. She can't walk without a walker, and she can only walk very short distances. Okay, so maybe like 20, 30 feet at a time. She has to take a break because her knees hurt, her hip hurt, and she gets like a little bit of short of breath, but not that bad. But it's mostly about pain when she walks in her joints, which the doctors say they can't necessarily have perform surgery for her because of some health issues and like blood pressure. I think it's something else, and then her age kind of is a factor. But whatever else they can do for her, they try their best to do. She gets, like I said, physical therapy, occupational therapy. But she has friends. Her friends are genuine friends. They care about her. Her friends call her all the time. They invite her to outings, dinners, other events. They love to go to happy hour multiple times in a month for like an hour or two. They don't like get drunk or anything, but they just sip their wine, like a glass of wine. They catch up with each other. They talk often. And she also returns the favor. Now, she's very independent. She likes to order her stuff herself. So I remind her how she has that independence. Yes, she's in an electric wheelchair or uses a walker to walk, but she can call on the phone. She can go online, right, to make a place of order for some new shoes, for new makeup, nail polish, whatever she wants. She can call for it. Food. She can order her own food. Right? She also uses supplies sometimes, and she can order her own supplies for her. She can actually afford supplies, like multiple times a month. She can even buy enough supplies to go beyond what she needs at that present time. She can buy supplies for months in advance for her care. So I remind her of this. I'm like, look at the countless blessings you have, right? And well, let's see what else she does. She loves special fragrances, perfumes. The fact that she can even afford an electric wheelchair is a big deal. I don't know if I mentioned that. Like, a lot of people have wheelchairs, but they have to be pushed around. They can't move around by themselves. So she can go wherever she wants to go in her community just with her electric wheelchair. She doesn't need she doesn't have to like call someone to push me around in it. She can just get up and go when she's ready. And also, her memory is intact. There are times that I forget to bring stuff or to do something, and she'll remind me, and I have to put it on my list. She's like, don't forget we're supposed to, and don't, she remembers so many things. So I remind her that there are people who don't have their memory. They suffer from organic brain disorders, conditions, diseases. They may have, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, other forms of dementia. I was thinking of another disease, but I would say, some people suffer from multiple sclerosis, other issues like that she doesn't. I remind her that there are people who are quadriplegic, that they're literally in their bed or in a facility. They can't move their arms, they can't move their legs. Okay, some people are amputees. They have had one leg removed or two legs amputated, or even their arms. Some people have had breast mastectomies. I think that's what it's called. She hasn't experienced that, though she had experienced cancer once in her life, and I think it was a early stage, either stage 1 or 2. She survived that, and that's a plane flying over. There are people who live in third world countries, people who are in war torn countries like Ukraine right now, and other countries such as in Africa, other places, some South American countries, or even Central, where there is cartel and just disruption. Argentina is experiencing, such huge economic issues. It's just all over the world, particularly in certain countries. And, there are people in prison, there are people who don't have their freedom. It's like, I'm not saying that these people I'm listing don't have happiness. They can find joy. They can. You can be in prison. You can be a quadriplegic. You can be in a third world war torn country. You can experience other issues in your life: medical, physical, mental, spiritual, financial, and emotional, let's just say, and still find joy. I find joy in the Lord. And whenever I'm going through issues and feels like I'm passing through a season of suffering, that is where I find my peace, where I find my unloading, and find my boost and my added strength. But I don't want to go too deep into that right now. So, she has her memory, great memory. Anyone who meets her loves her personality, and they become captivated by her oftentimes because she speaks her mind. But her memory is great. And I reminded her that, she's not where she used to be, but at least she's not where she could have been. And I know some people use that in reverse sometimes when it comes to spirituality. Like, I'm not as bad as I used to be, but, I'm not where I used to be, but I'm headed somewhere. But I remind her, yes, she used to be more independent. She used to drive a car. She used to live in a house where she could do everything herself, don't need assistance or anything like that. But then she could be in a different situation where she doesn't remember anything. She can't afford an electric device, or I'm not sure what to call it. Well, wheelchair that you can move around in independently if you want to. Or like I mentioned, other things. She can do all of these things herself that other people don't have the privilege and luxury to be able to do. Right? So some of the things I listed before was approaching age 89, 2 parents, wealthy parents, twice married, found the love of her life in one of those marriages, had 4 healthy children, 4 healthy births and pregnancies, 7 healthy grandchildren who are still alive, and her sons are married, and they appear to be happy, to all those who witnessed it. She has actually 3 out of her 7 grandkids are actually getting married within the next year. So I think 2 this year and 1 next year, or 1 this year and 2. And she plans to attend all those weddings, God willing. She's excited about that because once they're married, she is expecting great grandchildren. So she may experience great grandchildren. That's awesome. Her brother Bill stays in regular contact with her. They love each other. They have a great relationship. She cares about herself and does self-care often, weekly. She makes sure she stays in contact with each other, with others, buying gifts for herself and others, and receiving gifts from her loved ones, and bouquets of flowers and words of love always. She has great friends of her age who, yes, are a little bit more independent. Not all of them, but most of them. And she's only semi-independent, I would say. They hang out, they have fun, they laugh, they chat together, they sing, they, do all this. Well, they dance together, but she's not able to like stand up and dance, but they like listen to music and rock together. But her friends can actually dance with each other when they hang out together. She is independent in that she has a wheelchair. She does have help sometimes, but she can order freely online, have everything shipped to her no matter what it is, makeup, food, perfumes, bouquets of flowers, whatever she wants, like at her heart's content, clothing. And she has great memory. Her eyesight is relatively good. Her hearing is okay. She can hear, but she can use a device if necessary. But she doesn't like to use it because it's not necessary, I would say. And she would like to drive a car one day, but that goes along with the independent living. Right? So she's leaving a legacy. She's still building that legacy. She may be able to, God willing, see her great grandchildren. That would be awesome. But the reason I'm making this video is because that might be a way you can encourage someone. This is why I'm sharing it. There are people who feel down. You don't have to, but you can be the person if you choose to uplift that person. You can make a list, write down the awesome things in their life, things they've achieved, things they want to still achieve, things that they're currently in that their mind's eye is blocking. They cannot see it for whatever reason. It's just our human nature. We need reminders often of what we have done, what we can still do, what we are now doing in our lives, and the opportunity of life that we still have, that we're breathing, we're talking, we're seeing, we're hearing. Right? We're walking, we are able to hold things with our fingers and do other things for ourselves. And if you can't do everything for yourself, whether you don't have eyesight or you may be blind, you may not have great hearing or deaf or some other issue, there's always something you can do, and put great people around you so that you'll be able to see that thing, that special thing about you that you can't see, that they can't see, or that they can perceive. All right, so this video is what I made to hopefully help you help someone, or help yourself. Help yourself if you're also feeling despondent, down, discouraged, just not feeling like what's my purpose, what's the meaning to my life. You have to have great people around you to boost you up. And I did feel a little compassion for the lady, because she doesn't have people who she can feel like she can open up to in the way she does with me, and just like let her heart out and let her emotions express herself, let her emotions show. Let her emotions show, but also another way to say that is to be vulnerable, right? And I do have a short on here about vulnerability. I think it was Lewis House. I placed a short on here about vulnerability. Check it out on my channel. All right. So hopefully I'm able to make another video for you on another subject soon, if not today. So glad you were patient with me. Go out there, make the best of today, of your week, of your year, your life, and share this video. Subscribe. I love you all. Take care of yourselves. Be back now. Till the next time.